that note says. But if you went over everything else, I don't see the point in doing it again.
No, you're good.
All right, who's this? Gabe. All right, whoever wants to go first, feel free. And if it's a two-man, if you guys discuss against each other who it was, let that person read it. So like, if me and Matthew were on a property and I didn't do the bedwetting, I just said screw it, I would be the one to read it.
Alright, so this one mine for the bush, the vine.
And did you do the shrub maintenance that day? Or I know that was like probably 2 weeks ago, but
I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, it was from 6-7, it says,
Could've been that property cleanup.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out which.
no, Jeremy Schrapp, no. The property cleanup, that was just, you just would have needed to spend the rest of your time there to, you know, get more of what you, because that was a maintenance visit, and you guys I think McKee shrub maintenance is probably new to you if it's not a property cleanup, you know, with a video. But essentially, there's some rose bushes in the backyard along the fence, and there was just vines growing through them, and you guys did a regular shrub maintenance visit there, and they didn't get pulled.
Hey, I got a video for that complaint. Did you send it back? Did you send it to him? That might refresh there.
No, because we had another shrub maintenance visit coming up, and
Just put the
Hunter
note on
went
there.
and handled the bed weeding.
Gotcha.
Do you still have that video?
Yeah, I'll show it you. So
Yeah.
it'll jump up into your mind.
Okay.
Hey, you'll see it.
But I'll read it. It says, Brian was at the client's house and noticed vines that were inside the rose bushes. Shrub maintenance does include getting vines and out of most, if not all, shrubs. Call Brian or Jeremy with any service questions. Then we have another one from 6/23 that says, team mowed the wrong lawn. Client called and sent the team back. I definitely don't remember that.
Yeah, I mean, I called y'all that day, and y'all went back over there. Some of these are a couple weeks old, so it's
I
my,
remember you called
Yeah.
us and telling us we mowed the wrong lawn.
hell, I mean, I wouldn't have wrote it down if it didn't happen. But what would you take away from that one?
Make sure you look at the address.
Boom. It's happened to us all.
Hell yeah, it's happened to me a bunch. I've been 30 minutes away for a timed appointment and went to the wrong Sussex. There's one in Augusta, there's one in Evans, and they are 30 minutes away.
I just really don't remember.
I mean, if it was, what was the date on that one?
6/23.
Yeah, I mean,
Tina
I-
Townsend.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple on that street too, so you two are probably going fast and just maybe mow the neighbor or something next to
And
her.
then especially for those that are just being trained and maybe haven't been using the service autopilot as much or have been relying on your trainer. So what we mean by check the address, everybody's got a list, right? That has the address on the profile. Whenever you hit, go to map or directions or whatever the thing's called, it'll send you to, most of y'all, it'll send you to Apple Maps, right? Look at that address, make sure it matches the one in the profile. Because there's enough amount of times that it'll take you to a different address than what is in the profile. So that's what you can check, and then you can check that immediately so you know, like, okay, not using this map function, I gotta figure out why it's taking me to this. And so what I do, I've got Waze. Waze is the best GPS one for new developments. Anybody ever heard of Waze?
Yeah.
And then I got Google Maps. So unfortunately, Service Autopilot uses Apple Maps, which is, in my opinion, the worst reliability. But just check that; it'll save you. The main thing is saving you time, so you make more for pay for performance. And also, if it could happen, it'll send you to a door. Grass needs to be mowed. You mow it, and that's what happened. Somebody. But basically, what it is y'all lost pay for performance dollars that you could have gotten because you did a yard that we're not getting production for. So that's a more detailed explanation. If anybody has any questions about that, don't understand how that could happen or you haven't seen it yet, I could probably probably think of one
I
that,
would say most of the time it's gonna take you to the right street, it's gonna take you a couple houses up, but there are the weird times
Yeah.
where you hit the GPS and it puts in something completely different.
Or I've had the GPS actually
Waze lets
have the
you
neighbor
have
address,
updates
like
too,
the
doesn't it?
direct
Buy-
neighbor of the
buy
actual yard.
with-
I think that was one yard, and I wouldn't mention that one, talking about the one with 704 on the house.
No, not that one. I've been to another one, like a couple of them. I guess because it's like Apple Maps coordinates. It'll like put it, say it's like 1857, and it'll, the GPS will put you at 1859.
Yeah, that was pretty out there.
Like,
But we
yeah.
also had one more, me and, Bailey, for Nick Hillman. It says crew did not start their timer and did not see the job notes. Client texted upset about no stick/pine cones being picked up, which is the job notes. Is that the one that I went back to and did?
Yeah. That was one you went back to.
Okay, did the line trimming?
Yeah, and the blower, which that's in there too, but I didn't write that down. But he was mainly texting about sticks and pine cones. That, when we were having a conversation, he said that's what he was most concerned about. But as you know, there was two other things, edging and blowing the pine straw back in the bed.
Okay.
Yeah. So that one would be what, probably just start your timer, so that way you see your job note.
Yeah, I think what happened was we ran the timer all the way through for the mowing.
It was just road maintenance. And timer started at 10:51 and
Yeah.
ended at 10:51. So you just did it after, or right before. Probably after, that would make more sense.
that'd be why you wouldn't have seen the notes. But that's the biggest thing as far as why you start it, is because you will not see notes pertinent to the specifics of that property. You'll just think it's a regular property. Like you could see a mowing, and you're like, okay, this is just a regular old mowing. But this mowing note said included in the mowing that the client accepted, you have to go in the back fence that opens up to the natural area and mow a 3-foot strip.
There's one
So there's
where
all
we
kinds
don't-
of
where
stuff.
we don't edge or weed eat too. So if you don't start the timer there, you know,
You're doing work that yeah, it's a very important that you hit that, because there could be something in that job note that causes you to make that client so upset that they're gonna leave us and blast us a 1-star review, say we damaged something and all that. So it's extremely important.
Yeah, when we get a complaint, that's our first go-to. I'm sorry, I'll put this in your job notes, so that way we don't let it happen again. And then if it happens again, they're either gonna,
They're not gonna trust us.
Yeah, so that's where you start going down the slope you don't wanna go down. Thanks, McKee.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I'll go next. So, I went to Jana Connolly, and I immediately hopped out, didn't look at my service that I had, and I just started mowing. And it ended up only being a bed weeding service, and then I just rushed through bed weeding and didn't hand pull, and I should have hand pulled.
Yeah, so once again, I'd say the first thing you do after you double check the address is start the timer, and look at the client's profile, because what Matthew didn't know is she had canceled mowing the previous week. We used to do mowing and bed weeding, then she canceled the mowing because her husband's capable of doing it, and he just pulled up, like I said, hopped out, and then once he realized he wasted time, he went a little too fast through the bed weeding.
I got one for June 14th for Jeremy Schreck. Brian was at his customer's home and noticed one missed bed in the back left corner. I should just double check in the yard when they're blowing it off. Yeah, I just gotta pay more attention and be more careful and do a second round at the end of my yard, make sure I did everything that I was supposed to do.
And maybe, like I suggested, maybe while you have the blower on your back, you're already going from front to backyard, taking a quick look instead of, not actively having a piece of equipment on you or something.
I also got one with Jordan. but I feel like since I was the
I don't know, I think that'd be a shared one, but
Yeah.
whoever wants to read it.
I'll read it. This is June 23rd for Angela Guerrero. The team completely missed or forgot to weed the bed. A client called and complained, and Bailey spent 30 minutes fixing the mistake. Thank you, Bailey.
And McKee, he was there.
Oh, Emma Keat, sorry. Oh, it does say and Q, my bad. But that's my fault. I just got to make sure I do everything that the job entails and do another second round walk around.
And I'm not sure if that was first go round or what. I'm gonna say it was, since it took 30 minutes. Not sure what caused you two guys to miss that, but probably was the first bed weeding. So.
And I don't remember the yard, but
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay.
Some grass on and stuff. So it's kinda hard to get it out.
On July 2nd, Kevin Palmer, it says, Tim did not run timer and most likely did not see job notes that state, please take bed weeding very seriously. Client sent an email not happy with bed weeding service. I am giving client 2 free bed weeding services because of our mistake. I checked all the beds, like they were all knocked down to where all I had to do was spray.
Yeah, and like I put on that.
That left bed I wasn't too sure about.
Yeah, and I put on the notes for you to go there today to take a video and send it to me, so we can also see, because we're talking about just a couple days ago, so, make sure you take that and send it to me. Well, that's all of them. Connor.
Me and Bailey had one on June 16th, by Bill Jacobson. They called Jeremy about excessive weeds throughout the beds.
Yeah, so we had a team go there, and I think I also spoke to Bailey. I'm pretty sure you guys had determined you had sprayed there. So with a big one like that, it is bed weeding this time of year is very frustrating. It's probably where they're gonna be growing the most, especially with rain. So it's just something you're gonna have to take extra time on. And I think that's something Bailey's been working with you is spraying. So that's something that your teammates will directly benefit from, less weeds in the beds, less time spent for everyone else, so. That one I would say, keep working with Bailey on, getting, a little bit better at making sure you get everything you need to.
All right, team. Appreciate the participation in our yellow slip AA meeting. And just remember, when you're reading it and when you're internalizing it, it's not about fault, it's about responsibility. It sounds similar, but fault has a negative connotation of something happening that is almost seeming like it's not. It's too negative of an emotion to do something about. Responsibility leaves action open for correction. So just remember, like, this is not about shaming, this is not about whose fault it is. There's responsibility and there's implications for your actions, but it doesn't mean that you're, nothing is, inherently bad about you. Everybody makes mistakes. The thing is, owning it and doing something about it and learning something from it is what this is all about. So hope everybody goes out there, gets after it. And last week was probably one of the more difficult weeks that we've had this year, but I think we still got, what do we get?
Everything but 3 yards, so.
That's pretty awesome. For those of y'all that have been here, that were here last year, you know that they're your typical.
Most weeks seem like that.
Yeah, most weeks were like that. We have a whole lot more Saturdays work than we would like to. And the workload on each individual team member was a whole lot more. So we're trying to make this atmosphere as sustainable as possible, as enjoyable as the Georgia heat and humidity can possibly be, or at least spend the least amount of time in it to put the most amount of money in your pocket. So